morning, grade fives. Hopefully you're having a great day so far. I'm just going to be doing your last review, input review session, workshop, whatever you want to call these, for this week, and then we're pretty much done. I'm going to be doing a review on volume. Now, when we did it was week 3, day 4. I think a lot of us are getting this. It's just multiplication, but I think it's the steps that might be kind of confusing a few of us. So let's do this. Now, the reason I don't like to waste paper, so this is just from yesterday's class, but I'll just cover that in case that's bothering you. So it is week 3, day 4, in case you are considering going to look at the video if you want to. But okay, volume. Now, just a quick review. Remember, volume is just for 3D shapes, right? So if I wanted to, and I've got this book right here, if I wanted to know the volume or how much if this was like a box, how much I can fit in here. It's a space inside of a 3D shape, right? It's not a 2D shape. It always has to be 3D shape. And in that example, on the definition on its own, right? 3D, there are 3 sides, 3 numbers we're multiplying. And that's what volume is. Now, I won't draw the shapes because I know a lot of my kids, I don't know about the other students, were just stressing about getting these perfect shapes drawn into their notebooks. I won't draw the notes. I won't draw the shapes. I will just tell you, let's look, okay, before I tell you let's do examples, let's just review the equation. So do you remember the equation for volume? So volume is always equal to length, so how long something is, times the width, so how wide something is, times, so normally if I stop there, that would be area, right? Length times width is area. You know how to do that. We're just adding one more element because it's a 3D shape, which is the height. Right? Because it's a 3D shape. So how tall or how high something is. So volume, and I'll write the short form, volume is equal to length times width times height. That is what you need to know. Again, very easy equation, very easy to do. You just have to multiply 3 numbers together. So you have to do 2 short steps. So let's look at examples. And like I said, I won't draw the examples because I know a lot of my friends were getting so paranoid about getting these perfect shapes drawn, 3D shapes drawn, and I don't. So let's say I gave you a shape, and I'll say the length is equal to 10. The width is equal to 8, and let's just make them all meters. And height is equal to 2. Let's say 2. Okay, so I've given length, I've given width, I've given height. So simple enough. You would just write the equation. So let's write, always best option is to start with writing the equation. Length times width times height. Right, now let's fill in what we know. So my length is 10, my width is 8, and my height is 2, correct? Now, let's do it. Now, normally we've only multiplied numbers, 2 numbers together. But when there's 3 numbers given, you need to break them off. So do these 2 first. So what is 8 times 10? We know that is, and I'll put an equal sign here. We know 10 times 8, yeah, is 80. And then you just bring down the 2. So times 2. So you just do it in chunks, okay? All we did was, since we have 3, and if your mental math is quick enough, so some of us are at that point, and that's okay if you aren't, but if your mental math is sharp enough that you can do 3 numbers in your mind and get it right, then you can skip the step. But a lot of us should. I recommend just breaking it up because it's easier it's easy to make a mistake. But just double check, right? So you just, when you have 3 numbers, pause on one of the numbers. Put that away for a moment and just multiply 2 like you normally would if this was area or your multiplication fact. So what's 8 times 10? 80. And then you reintroduce and you bring back that friend you forgot for a moment. Then you bring back the 2 and then you just multiply. 80 times 2 is 160. And then my units were meters. And remember, because this is volume, a lot of us are forgetting our units. Remember, cubed. Okay? There we go. And if that was a struggle, remember you can do traditional multiplication or lattice. 2 times 0, we know is 0. And then 2 times 8, we know is 16. That's how I got 160. Okay, let's do another example. Example 2. Let's say my length is 4 meters. My width is 2 meters. My height is 1 meter. Again, I'm going to say my volume is equal to length times width times height. And then you fill it in. My length is 4. My width is 2. My height is 1. Again, let's just bring this down first. 4 times 2 is what? 4 times 2 is 8. Then you bring down the 1. 8 times 1 is 8 meters cubed. That was an easy one. Okay, let's do one more. I think this is, so your only trick or the tricky part of this is just the multiplication. Just do it slowly. Really, there's no major trick for volume. All volume is, the only quote-unquote tough part about volume is the multiplication. But if you do it slowly, you do 2 numbers, then you do the third, it's not that hard. I'm confident all of you are going to be acing this quiz today because it is just 3 numbers multiplied together. So again, let's say I give you a shape where the length is 5, the width is 7, the height is, let's say, 4. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Volume is equal to length times width times height. My length is 5, my width is 7, my height is 4. Let's separate them. What is 7 times 5? 35. Okay, 35, and I need to bring the 4 down, times 4. So do your traditional multiplication or do lattice, whatever multiplication method you like. Okay, and remember with traditional, you do 4 times 5 first, which is 20. Put the 0 out here, put the 2 here. And then I do 4 times 3. So 4 times 3, 12, plus 2, 14. Oh, no, sorry, I think it's something. No, what did I do wrong here? Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's good. Then it is 140. So it is equal to 140 meters cubed. That's all, okay? So some of us might need to review traditional multiplication. Some of us might need to review just multiplication in general. So that's all of this is. So volume, remember, it's a 3D shape. Remember your equation, length times width times height. So not just length times width, because that's area. And best strategy is to do 2 numbers together and then the third. Do 2 numbers together and then the third. Okay? And that's all for today. That's all volume is. Of course, you're going to do more on volume once you go into grade 6, but as now your foundational topic is just to understand the equation and be able to multiply 3 numbers together. Okay? That's all for today. So I want you to go and do the quiz for volume, today's daily quiz. And then if you want some extra practice, it's in the folder as well. And then you're working on your study guide as well. Okay? Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.